Good morning, pregame crew. It is Tuesday, July 20th. Man, this year is flying. We will get started in 4 minutes. This is just an audio visual check. Thank you. Hi, 1988, Blue Dog, Eric, Brian, Tamazon, Sebro. Hey, Don, Aaron. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hope you brought a friend. And if you didn't, that's okay too. Hey, Chris. Hey, Jorge. Hi, LSH. Jonathan. Are we good on sound? Yeah, let's make some money, Slow Devil. That's why we're here. Hope all of you had a great trading day yesterday. I think we were pretty well prepared. Things played out nicely. Hey, Sue. How are you? Don't see any mods this morning. That may make my job a little harder. I will watch out. Perfect. Awesome. Hey, C bro. Thank you, thank you. I have the Blue Origin page here. The space flight with Bezos takes off in 33 minutes. It's giving this mom angina. Don't like it. Too risky for that stock, that company, those families. Scares me. Hi, Abdullah. Hey, Sue, you want me to look at CCIV? Let's look at it right now. So the format is I typically go over request at the end if I have time. It's just a tough time frame to be able, or a short time frame to be able to go over all of these requests. So I do my best. What was the volume yesterday on this one, Sue? Okay, a little bit of elevated bull volume, not a lot. We're running into the underside of a downtrending hourly 50 MA. You know how I feel about that. It's not a feeling. The SOTIMA, slope of the EMA, when it's pointed at 45 degrees down, that's bearish. When it's pointed 45 degrees up, that is bullish. So I like that we have this little trend change here. And we're getting over it. So a back tested 2266, yesterday's high, may be a good area to go long if it can pull back a little bit. Needs to hold yesterday's low. A more conservative stop is up at 2175 on CCIV. We are not officially getting started. I'm just helping out Sue. Nice bull volume, but we are below the 50 MA. If we bounce into the $24 region, that would be a good area to short, in my opinion. So be careful. Be careful with this name. This is a bottom fish, meaning that you're going counter trend. So the daily trend is down. If you bottom fish a daily downtrend, then you are just looking for a flip. So remember that. Hi, David Peterson, David Dean. Hey, Widow Puppy. Yep, those fake spaceships. Yeah, it's making me scared. I don't like this. I don't like this. This Blue Origin, the Amazon flight. So Bezos is still the chairman of Amazon. He is a large Amazon shareholder and the chairman. So if anything were to happen to this Blue Origin flight, it would be a huge short on Amazon, but I would be crying while I was doing it because it'd break my heart that these people got hurt. So I pray that they have a safe flight. And if you're not a spiritual person, just wish them well. All right, it's 6:30. It's time to get started. Let's start with ES. So if you're interested in my chart setup, it is on the screen now. There's nothing magical about my indicators. I rely on price action first. It's definitely price before everything else. So the yellow and purple lines are my simple 50 and 200 moving averages. The green and red are the at 8 and 21 EMAs. The yellow candles are called the JC inside bars on TradingView, and that just helps it pop out from my eyes. I can see that we have a baby candle within a mother candle's range. In this case, developing because it's not closed. Over here, this would be a defined inside bar because it closed within the range of the prior candle. the RSI that I use, CM Ultimate RSI multi-time frame. I like the red is overbought, green is oversold, and you can plot multiple time frames if you so desire. And then I use the TTM squeeze, Thinkorswim default down here. I'm an options trader and I'm looking for stored energy and burst. Here's an example of stored energy. So we have this little squeeze and then we have this burst. So that's what I'm looking for. And you can also have a squeeze to the downside. So it's not necessarily a factor in direction. So ES with a nice oversold bounce overnight. So your resistance is 4277, 4278, 4279, support 4266, 4262. This is my hypothesis or just absolute guess. Is if something were to happen to this Amazon flight this morning, which is happening in 29 minutes, I think it would be negative for the market. That is the news side. On the technical side, we're set up for a bounce into resistance and then a pull back. So Nasdaq, this is my story of the day. We have an hourly EQ. To me, this is the story of the day. So we have this high 1464450, low 1458350, lower high 14643. We broke this low by $1, but I'm calling this a double bottom because of proximity and it's a $14,000 issue. So we are going sideways. We're not necessarily storing energy for any type of explosion, but we're coming into the underside of a downtrending 50 MA on QQQ. That's bearish for me. So I would short Nasdaq up around 14650. So I'm just going to write that out. So I would even give it $6 wiggle room on NQ futures, which is the QQQ futures. I would short Nasdaq up around 14650 and I would even move my stop to 14670. So Nasdaq for me carries the most weight today. We have Netflix earnings after hours. Netflix is held in so many ETFs. If Netflix earnings were to be bad or not as strong as expected, because they put a big number out there in first quarter with $1 million subscriber, like predicting the future essentially. And if they don't meet or exceed that, they could get walloped pretty well. And they are a huge holding in XLC. They are a holding in XLK, just in so many different ETFs. So Netflix earnings after hours will, in my opinion, also impact the market. So we have two storylines. Well, let's call it three storylines. So the first storyline is Nasdaq EQ. Hourly EQ, which means that price is going sideways. Bears and bulls are duking it out to find a direction for the day. Second storyline, Amazon, Blue Origin. This flight today could be a make or break for Amazon for the day, not overall. It would chill out if something were to happen, but if anything untoward were to happen to that ship, that would not be good for the market. And the third storyline of the day is Netflix earnings after hours today. And it could have a huge bearing on the market and set the stage or set the tone. So if Netflix has this big miss, then we could see sell-offs in Apple and Amazon in anticipation of what their earnings may or may not be next week. So that's the storyline of today. So we see that the Dow was able to make that higher high, higher low. Let me flip back. See, on Nasdaq, it was unable to do that here. We are going sideways where Nasdaq was able to make that higher high, higher low. I saw some infrastructure headlines this morning saying it was basically that Biden is giving more thoughts to infrastructure. That's paraphrasing, but YM looks solid this morning. Support at 3394.1, 33843, resistance 34137, then up at 34,446. RTY, this could be a little bit of a head and shoulder. So just a heads up, if we were to get symmetry over here on this right shoulder around 2150, it could be a head and shoulders. We're coming in hard to a downtrending hourly 50 MA. I like IWM for a short today. That's a king of the mountain trade for me. RTY is the same thing as IWM, it's just in futures. So I like that we're coming in like as in a bear, like this downtrending 4-hour EMA, shorting this 2150, so I would say 2160 would be the stop here. If we could bounce just a little bit into 2150, give me a position around 2150 on RTY and have a stop around 2160. because we know that it's just been a rope-a-dope for all the bulls here on IWM. Every time they sucker them in, they just so weak. So we have the flipper action. So what I call the flipper action is this pinball. So you know, on a pinball machine, it flips the, well, that's a terrible drawing, but we have these flippers and they just flip the ball up or down. To me, this EMA just pointing down so rapidly with this velocity, it's just flippering price to the downside. I wish you could see my hands, but y'all all voted not to see my face, so you can't see my hands. Just kidding. I asked you if you want to see my face, possibly to save, but in order to save real estate, I wouldn't be on camera and you could see more charts, and that's what we decided to do. So RTY would be my, of the Fab 4 futures, that's the index that I would short today if looking short. And by the way, I'm Chart Gal Luri. I'm part of the Chart Guys community. We teach technical analysis. 5 days a week, I go over the Fab 4 futures, commodities, cryptos, and movers and shakers of the morning. So right now we got a decent bounce on RTY. It's bouncing the most, but it's still the weakest as far as chart structure. The house that it has built, there's the roof, first floor, second floor, pathetic. Let's try again. So the house that IWM has built, the support and resistance, it is definitely the shakiest. The foundation is weak. So I'm looking to pounce on RTY for a short for the day the minute that the market sees weakness, and I'd prefer to do that around 2150 RTY. Gold's getting a nice bounce, higher highs, higher lows on the hourly. 4 hour, that's enough of a pivot for a trend change. Resistance 1827.60. We talked about gold back here running into that daily 50 MA and how it would be a great short. If it bounces closer to this resistance of 1835, in my opinion, it would be another good short until it can clear that daily 50 MA. Anytime it gets near it, zap it like an electric fence. Oil on the weekly is coming back, and it's just doing a mean reversion, kiss to that 21 EMA on the weekly. Your next support is down at 61.56. This has been a horrific dump. Oil bulls can't be happy, but in my opinion, it's getting to an area of interest. So today we have API estimates after hours at 1:30. You're sweet. At 1:30 today. Well, sorry, I'm doing Pacific Coast. At Eastern time, at 4:30 Eastern, they have API estimates, rig count, and that could impact oil, but I would definitely not be shorting oil down here. To me, you're shorting in the hole. This could be a 4-hour bear flag, but I think there could be a bull opportunity with oil today. So let me get rid of my squiggles. Support is at 66.08, 65.56, resistance 66.93 and 67.29. If you trade futures, don't forget about QM. It is a micro or mini contract for CL. Oil is a very big contract. The tick value is very high, so QM is what I like to trade, and I can trade multiple contracts of QM versus having one of CL. I like to scale in and out. With QM, it gives me more agility and flexibility. Bitcoin getting the SNOT, so if your kid's listening, I don't want to say that word, but SNOT beat out of it. Your support 29,301. Below 29,301 is 28,800. Now we have an air pocket between price and the 8 EMA. When we pull away from those 8 EMAs so far, then it'll snap back like a rubber band. So at this point, it is not a short, in my opinion. We are too far away from these EMAs. I would wait for it to come back up and test those 4-hour EMAs to reposition for a short. This support over here of 30,429 could be a good area to short. I hope everyone's behaving because I don't see one mod in the room. So, is everyone behaving? Yeah, okay. Well, that's very nice, Widow. Well, that's cool, Meta Vinci. That's really cool. That's neat. Really cool. What a blessing for you and your family that was achieved. So on Bitcoin, I would not short down here. I'd wait for a bounce. Ethereum, you have resistance up at 199,440. 2,000 psychological, then 2,039. You have support at 1,717 and 1,700. You see how the hourly EMAs are just pushing down price, and it has been for a while. So It's been doing it since just a couple days ago on the hourly. Let's see how long the 4-hour EMAs have been large and in charge. Since the beginning of July. So this is just a short. It's just a short. Now, if you are an oversold balanced trader and you're good at it, then you're having a ball. When it flushes down, you can flip it, but you're not married to it. This has just got too much downward velocity in order to get addicted to any type of bull or fixated on any type of bull position. So in 9 minutes, I will try to wrap up. Dan will go live in the Chart Guys community, and we all flip over the Chart Guys communities and listen to him go live. And he covers for about an hour and a half. You get all of your heart's desires and requests answered. So that's kind of like the format. So now I have 9 minutes to go through the movers and shakers of the day and any requests that you may have. Hey, Amir Asia, good to see you. We are coming into the underside of a 4-hour downtrending 8 EMA, and this 5th EMA is coming up. So with Apple, we had an upgrade this morning. So I love to trade Apple. I usually give you an Apple trade. Today, in my opinion, it's in no man's land. So I told y'all that I would try to... Oh, no problem, Roberto. So on Apple... this morning, back up, Lori. This morning I tweeted that I'd talk about tractors and bank robbing. And yesterday I said I'd talk to you about robbing a bank. So robbing a bank, trading is very akin to robbing a bank. I've given you an analogy of hunting before, so indulge me as I go over how it's like robbing a bank. There is so much risk in trading. It's just like robbing a bank. Every time you would attempt to rob a bank, you're risking getting arrested. You're risking getting caught, getting shot, blah, blah, blah. So it's not that type of risk in trading, but everything has to be carefully planned out as if you were robbing a bank. You would wait for the guard to take a lunch break. Maybe you'd wait for night to fall. You would create an entry. How am I going to gain entry into the bank safe? I would need to know the combination. I need to have the right tools, a drill, a screwdriver to get that bank vault off the door in order to enter. You need the right tools, which are our indicators. You wouldn't be greedy or you'll get caught. If you get greedy and you try to get every dollar that's in that bank safe before the police arrive, you're going to get caught. You can't load everything in. And that's what scaling out means. You need to stay relaxed or you'll make a crucial error. Same thing in trading. And I hope this analogy, I'm not taking it too far. And if I am, oh well, yeah, it's all right. I'll get better. It's fun. So some of y'all are running into that bank safe and y'all are throwing your wallet on the floor and then running out. Where you go in, the setup is perfect. You've planned, and you take a stop, you lose a little money and you run out. That is not how you rob a bank. You want to take enough, don't overload your bag. You want something you can carry and then run out the door. Same thing with trading. If you're shorting Apple from back here, which we talked about that short, and let's say you swung it overnight and you kept it yesterday. That is really getting the meat on the bones of that trade, not being super greedy, but really staying in it as long as the technical signals say it's a trade. Some of y'all come over here, you throw your wallet on the floor and you run out the safe and you get a stop and you're like, oh my God, I'm scared. Stay with the trade as long as the signals are supporting it. So we don't just run into a bank safe to rob a bank and steal $5 and run out. When the trade setup is there, don't get all willy-nilly and when you see a little pop up and get scared. So I hope that analogy hit home. Okay. 20 minutes before the police arrive. I have put I would never, my grandma would come back from the grave and kill me if I ever stole anything. So back to Apple. I don't see an entry into this bank safe. I don't see it. Apple got an upgrade. So an upgrade tells me go bullish. But with downtrending EMAs overhead, I don't see a trade for me to go long. But I also can't shorten the hole with this beautiful weekly chart. This could be just a little bull flag forming. Of course, this bear volume only have one day. We'll see what the bears pull off the rest of the week, but they have earnings next week. I mean, how can you short Apple with this beautiful weekly chart. You can only do really quick flips. So above 144, I like it to the long side. Below 144, I like it to the short side. And otherwise, this isn't a perfect bank robbery. We got the guard at the door. I mean, we got a bum leg. We can't run. I just don't like it. It's not a great Goldilocks type setup where everything's just right. Amazon. Amazon is terribly impacted by this spaceship thing. If everything goes great, I don't know, or I can't visualize a scenario where Amazon would run and be a spaceship up to the upside if the mission is safe and everything lands and everybody's happy. I don't see it just running to the moon. It does have earnings next week. It did. So I'm a little conflicted on Amazon. I would say it's a short all the way up to $35.93. If they have a successful flight, I would not be shorting Amazon. If they don't have a successful flight, let's just say when they land, one of the tires falls off. Let's just say nothing negative like that. But it could be a short. HCA killed earnings. I put this on my watch list down here at 228 in pre-market, and now it's just really chugging along. So now we just have to wave at it. Okay. Okay, thank y'all so. Oh, Judd, thank you. All right, Judd's here. Sorry, Judd, I didn't see you. Okay, so with HCA, we just have to wave at it, and the only thing I can do now is say, okay, let me know when the 5-minute RSI crosses 30. That's all I can do. I can't go long up here. It was a great idea. It had, or maybe not a great idea. It's working out. Let's just say that. It had lots of upgrades. They crushed earnings. They raised guidance. So a 5-minute oversold bounce is all I can do here. THC was the other name I was calling out to my cohorts this weekend. Okay, they have earnings tomorrow. And they're getting a bump from HCA. Look at this squeeze, folks. This thing could be an explosion to the upside or downside. I was actually looking at a potential straddle for this name because I think we're going to get an explosive reaction, or we could get a big nothing. But THC is moving in tandem with HCA's really positive earnings, so just something to watch. IBM had good earnings. They had several upgrades this morning. This could be a 5-minute oversold type trade. 5-minute is getting oversold right now. So it looks like they're selling off this good earnings. So I don't like the setup anymore with IBM. I don't like it. They should continue going. IWM, I like it to the short side. Like it to the short side with RTY, hourly potential head and shoulders, running into a downtrending hourly 50 EMA and a 4-hour downtrending 8 EMA. I would look to short IWM. Netflix has earnings after hours. I have it painted green because I like a long. So this could be an hourly bear flag on Netflix, but if we pull back to the 520 area, it could be a long opportunity for people trying to get a piece of the run into earnings after hours. So I like Netflix for a day trade only to the long side and only if it pulls back pretty hard. Let's say it rolls over out of this bear flag and comes down to 520. I like it for a long. NVIDIA had the 4-1 reverse split, and I forget what the number is. 187.80 is the number that we closed yesterday. So if you take yesterday's close price and you divide 751 by 4, then it's 187.80 or on or around. So if it's below 187.80, we're red today. If it's above 187.80, we're green today. QS, they had a downgrade. This chart's been super weak, and I would love to short 23.50. By the way, I still like LB short, but we need a little bounce on LB short to short it again. So 23.50, I like QS to the short side. SHOP, I like to the long side. SHOP is not heavily weighted in a lot of ETFs. We have a little squeeze here. I like it above 1481.11. It had some nice volume yesterday, nice bull volume. So I like SHOP above 1481. Or I like it on actually to position myself a pullback to the 1445 area. If the market is weak today, then this trade idea probably won't work. Let's talk about my tractor sexy. So the TSCO, they beat earnings, lots and lots of upgrades. I like it for a 5-minute oversold. I also like it for a pullback to 179 to go to the long side. Tesla, man, that trade worked well yesterday, didn't it? By $1. That was just amazing. I like Tesla on a pullback to 639 area. I would like to go long, because what we're trying to do is, if you didn't get a position yesterday on this daily EQ, the bulls that missed it are going to be looking to position themselves again. But it's a short around 755. It's a short. Where it's opening, it's a short. They did have news this morning. Their Tesla truck is going into production. So that is good news. But I would still short it in the 755 area where these daily EMAs are. But I like it long on a pullback. So I don't have it colored anything. Don't have it colored anything because it depends on where it opens. I just feel like up here we got some resistance we're going to have to burn off, come back, and then get along. But if it keeps flying through 757 on this truck news, great. If you have a position from yesterday, I would hold it. No reason to throw it away. QQQ. We had this hourly EQ. I'm going to disregard this wick because that's what happens when brokers open. Resistance 356.25, 356.40, 356.49. Support, ignore the levels here, y'all. I'm having to verbally give it to you because things changed since I mapped this. So here are your levels on QQQ. What's most important is this hourly EQ. This is what's most important. The level is 14582. 14582. That is the key support for QQQ futures and SPY. We're coming into a downtrending hourly EMA. How many times do I tell y'all hourly EMAs overhead is hard to get bullish? Lord, try again. Okay, hourly EMAs overhead, pushing price down is hard to get bullish SPY up here. I'll be watching market internals, but I like SPY to the downside. It feels like we just burned off this bear momentum. These bears just covered, and now they're looking to sell to open again. Dan gets started in 8 minutes. I'm taking XLF. I'll take a couple requests. XLF banks got lots and lots of downgrades. I mean, the analysts just piled in today on banks. We broke this support yesterday, 35.18. We're down at 34.90. Bears have momentum to the downside. A pop up into 35.50 area for me would just be another short area for XLF. Hourly is no longer oversold. 4 hour no longer oversold. Daily not oversold. So for XLF, to me, it's just another short. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate it. I don't know Sonoma, but he's the chairman of the board for Amazon, so it doesn't matter. Amazon would get hit pretty hard if anything bad happened. Thank you, Flash Gordon. I appreciate it. All right. Oracle, yep, this is the last one. Oracle for Davy, baby. Let me back up and get my bearings. This looks like a weekly bull flag. This is a beautiful, beautiful chart. The only thing that negates a potential bull flag is that bear volume, but I would say the pattern is there enough that I would still say it could be valid. This is a beautiful chart. Over 87.50. I like it to the long side, especially over 87.87. 4 hour EQ for the ages. Oh, that arrow may have been me predicting, but above 88.48. This is just I love this chart. That's a beautiful daily chart holding that 8 EMA, burning off some sideways action. They broke it bearish yesterday. They broke this inside bar to the downside and still couldn't flush. I like it. Okay, one more. XLP. XLP finally got over that daily 50 EMA. Beautiful volume yesterday. I didn't notice that. Nice volume yesterday, but it would be tough to get over that 71.27. So 71.27, 71.30 is a short level for me for XLP, and odds favor that we'd EQ out. Got enough room for a higher low on a pull down, but do you see that? We're actually opening up toward the middle of that range. I would say that we most likely could have an inside bar today. All right, that's it for me. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Use stop losses And when you rob that bank, have all of your details mapped out, your exit, your entry, who's going to be on watch for you. Don't you run in that bank safe, throw your wallet down and run out. You're here to trade. You're here to get some money. Not all of it, but not very little. So happy bank robbing. Sorry, FBI, if you're listening. I don't look good in stripes or orange. See y'all tomorrow. Hit that like button.